Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose bringing you another Guardians of the Galaxy video, and today what I got for you guys here is going to be a quick guide on how to unlock all the MCU suits for each member of the Guardians of the Galaxy in this game. Before we jump into that though, if you've been playing the Guardians of the Galaxy game and have been enjoying it, do me a favor and scroll down and hit that thumbs up button. Share your hype with me, and as well let me know what you think about the game in the comments below. If you're new here and you want to keep up to date on all Marvel games content, well then I got you covered. Of course, we got Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine officially announced that we can expect to see down the line, and I'll be all over the coverage for those games as well as continuing the content here for Guardians of the Galaxy. If that sounds good to you, well then hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be immediately notified when a video goes live. Lastly, reminding you guys that I'm sponsored by G Fuel. You can get your hands still on that Venom Let There Be Carnage G Fuel. The tubs are available. You can get the red ooze or the black ooze. Check the link in the description box below and use code Caboose at checkout. And with all that being said, let's get into this. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of the chapters where you'll find these suits, as I feel that that would be the best way for you guys to be able to unlock these rather than having to jump all over the place. And starting off right away in chapter 1, you can get your hands on 2 MCU suits. And the very first one is going to be for Rocket. There's going to be a moment in the game where you're going to see some bone-looking structures, and Rocket's going to tell you the direction that you have to go is towards the left. If you walk towards those bones, then turn around and look below you, you're going to see a little ship that you can jump into, and there will be the box where you can unlock Rocket's MCU suit. Moving on, the next MCU suit is for Groot, or I guess the MCU skin, bark, I don't know what you call it. The look, the MCU look for Groot is the one that's next up, and it's still within chapter 1. There's going to be a moment where you head inside to an interior location and you're going to be in complete darkness. After Rocket turns on the lights and a cutscene is initiated, watch that cutscene through, as it's a pretty cool one, I will say, and then as soon as it's done and you're in that brand new area, just turn to the right immediately and you'll see a crawl space that you can go into and find the box that contains Groot's MCU look. Unfortunately, you're not going to find any MCU suits in chapter 2, but that is a pretty short one. Then moving into chapter 3, the suit that you'll find here is for Gamora, and this one is fairly straightforward. You're going to progress through the mission and then inevitably get to a forested area. Walk up to Gamora, where you're going to see that there is a button prompt available to talk to her, but instead bank a sharp right and go into the cave. It's a fairly linear path from here. Take down some enemies, just continue through the cave, and inevitably you're going to see a box that contains Gamora's MCU look. Now next up in chapter 4 is a bit of a tricky one. The location of Drax's MCU suit actually varies depending on a choice that you make going into this mission. You're going to have 2 options to choose here, either to sell Rocket to Lady Hellbender or to sell Groot to Lady Hellbender. You saw this actually in the official demo that was revealed for this game when it was initially announced. The recording of what you're going to see here is if you choose the option to sell Groot. That is the option that I chose. That is the recording that I currently have, and it's pretty straightforward as to where to find Drax's MCU look in this game if you were to go with this choice. Essentially, all you're going to do when you go back into Lady Hellbender's throne room is immediately turn right and then follow the trail of crafting components that are left there that lead you to the box that has Drax's MCU suit. And then credit to GameRanks, as they put up a guide as to where to find all the suits, and they mention here that if you choose the option to sell Rocket, when the red laser wall approaches and your team has to take cover, follow your team and squeeze through the narrow passage of crates. The Guardians will go left through a door, go forward and boost jump across the platforms, and I'm assuming you'll then find a box with, again, Drax's MCU suit. And then finally, the suit that I imagine everyone is going to want the most, as it's the only playable character that you can actually control, StarLords MCU Suit, can be found in chapter 6. When you initiate the cutscene where Drax says that he wants to be left alone, after it's done, head right up the stairs. Then there's going to be a second staircase to the left. Jump over the railing on the right, then turn around and go under the staircase. There you will find the box that contains StarLord's MCU suit, where you can use it finally and play the game with the entire team in their MCU looks. And I love all the MCU costumes in this game. Very accurate to the movie and translates really well in this game, mostly because they're going for that same tone that the films have. The MCU design for Drax especially is perfect. I love the way that they designed that character in the movies, and in my personal opinion, he looks way better with the MCU look than he does with his base design. Then you have characters like Groot, where not too much changes because, I mean, it's just a giant tree looking thing, so it's not like there's massive changes there, but it is fairly accurate still to what Groot looks like in the MCU. And then there's Gamora, who I will be honest, I like her base design in the game better, but her MCU look is not bad at all. I still find it so cool that you have to go out and find these suits. It's essentially acting as a collectible in the game, which is so much fun and definitely forces me to explore every level. I think my only problem is when I go through chapter select and have to jump back into a mission to try and find a suit that I didn't find the first time around. Skipping cutscenes is a chore. My goodness, Eidos Montreal, let me just mass skip some cutscenes. But with all that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section below. Out of all the MCU suits in the Guardians of the Galaxy game, who do you think looks the best? Sound off in the comments. If you found this guide helpful, well then please consider hitting that like button. It would show your support and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are going to be in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.